Liverpool 6, Qarabag 0. This was a very, very comfortable performance, basically a routine win for Liverpool. Basically just to kick about with the boys on the park. 6-0 victory at Anfield against Qarabag to get us into the round of 16, and also great way to end our Champions League fixtures. Hopefully we get a nice draw in the round of 16. Yeah, it's a very comfortable game. It was a very, very comfortable game for Liverpool today. At no point did Qarabag really give us any threat. I didn't really expect them to. At the start of the game, I was a bit sceptical. Because I was like, this is a game that we're supposed to win. This is a game that we're meant to win. This is a game that we should win very easily. But considering it's Liverpool and considering the season we've had, you never know. We've just lost 3-2 to Bournemouth, who are in the bottom 10 of the Premier League currently. And I thought there's a possibility we do either draw or lose this tonight. And if we lose, Arne Slot gets sacked. But Arne Slot continues with his job. I just don't want to keep going into it. I'm still Arne Slot out. Nothing's going to change it. Nothing is going to change it. Maybe unless we get Champions League qualification at the end of the season. But still, I'll probably be Arne Slot. Let's just move on. But very comfortable win for Liverpool tonight. Really, really enjoyed that performance. Although it was against, Azerbaijan Premier League side. I just think that yes, we did win 6-0 against Qarabag, but we've got tougher games coming up. Now, by no means are we back. We are not back in the slightest. After every Champions League win, we have said this. After the Marseille game, we said this. We went and lost 3-2 to Bournemouth. We're not back because we've beaten Qarabag 2-0. We're not back because we've beaten Qarabag 6-0 at home. The second in the Azerbaijan Premier League. We are not back because we have beaten an Azerbaijan Premier League side, no disrespect, 6-0. We're not back. We're just not back. That's not how it works. We play Newcastle at the weekend, obviously, who are currently in 9th, and they may not have been the best this season, but teams have turned up at Anfield this season. Burnley, for example, Sunderland, Man United, who, have kind of been kick-started by Michael Carrick's return. So, a lot of teams have turned up at Liverpool, at Anfield this season. Nottingham Forest is a great example. They literally battered us. PSV in the Champions League. So, a lot of teams that haven't been great this season. Bear in mind, Nottingham Forest is 17th. So a lot of teams have turned up at Anfield and not just battered us, not just beaten us, battered us. And, they've not gone on to do very well. PSV, for example, they've just been knocked out of the Champions League and they beat us 4-1 at Anfield. So I'm not counting out Newcastle to get something in this game. Who knows? I expect us to win it because Newcastle have not been very, very good in the slightest this season. But who knows? Maybe Newcastle get a result against Liverpool. It would not surprise me if they did, to be honest with you. I think this result could boost us as a team at the minute. I think it could boost us. I think it could boost morale because now we're in the last 16 of the Champions League. And it could well boost us. It could make us go, okay, we're in the Champions League round of 16. Let's go for the Champions League. Obviously, do I think we're going to win the Champions League? How far do we go in the Champions League? I don't know. That's not something I can predict. I'm not an oracle. I can't tell what the future's going to be like. I don't know how far we're going to go in the Champions League. We could, we could stop at the round of 16. Hopefully not. I hope we go further than that this time. We could, get knocked out in the quarterfinals. We could get knocked out in the semi-finals. We could get to the final. I doubt that very much. But, who knows how far. If we play well enough, we could go to at least the semi-final. I'd be happy with that. I do not expect us to win this tournament this season. Maybe a few more optimistic Liverpool fans think we might, but I just don't think we're going to win the Champions League. I think the trophy that we could get nearest to winning this season is the FA Cup, and I'd be happy with that. FA Cup, top 4, and a Champions League semi-final finish. I'd be happy with that. I will be happy with that. The season overall, I'm not happy with, but I'll be happy with the FA Cup, Champions League semi-final, and top 4. I'll be happy with that. I won't be fine with it. I won't be fine with it because we should be getting, we should have got more than just top 4 and FA Cup and Champions League semi-final this season. But it's okay, you know what I mean? It's not bad, is it? An FA Cup, Champions League semi-final and top 4. It's not that bad. But this season could have been much more better than it has been. We could be top of the Premier League right now. We could have finished top of the Champions League. But, we're still in the FA Cup. We could have won the League Cup. We could have done so much more with this season than we have done. We've just failed this season completely. So, I think we focus on top 4 and maybe, do we focus on the FA Cup? For now, top 4, top 4 has to be a priority, I think, for Liverpool, because if we don't get top 4, we've completely failed. But yeah, am I surprised that we finished so high in the Champions League? We lost 2 games, which was Galatasaray and PSV, which we played really poorly in. And I think we won 5 games. Marseille, obviously Qarabag, Real Madrid, which I was a bit surprised about considering how we played. And Atletico Madrid as well. Is that 4? That's 4, I think. And then what's the other one? Frankfurt. So we've won 5 games in the Champions League. We've drawn none, and we have lost 2. That's not bad. I don't know how we finished 3rd in the Champions League. It's great that we finished 3rd in the Champions League, but I don't know how we've done it. You know what I mean? I don't know how we've done that. I don't know how we finished so high in the Champions League. Am I surprised? A bit, yeah. I am very surprised, in fact, that we finished this high in the Champions League, considering the teams that are in it. Barcelona, who I think beat Copenhagen tonight, 4-1, I think it was. Real Madrid, obviously the standard of Real Madrid this season has, fallen off a cliff. But there's just so many better teams than us in this competition this season, and we finished 3rd. Man City are in the Champions League this season. I just don't know how we've done it, really. I just really don't know how we've managed to do that. But yeah, 6-0 is a very good result to finish our Champions League games. And it does put us in a very good position going into the last 16. But I do think our main focus has to be top 4. Because we have to focus on top 4. Because if we don't get top 4, we don't get Champions League next season. FA Cup does give us Europe. But it's Europa League. I don't want to be playing Europa League. I want Champions League football. I don't want to be playing on the same night as Emmerdale and Coronation Street. I want to be watching the Champions League and then the soaps. I don't want to have to miss out on one. I mean, I'd be watching Liverpool 100% every day of the week. But, I don't want to be playing Europa League football. So, Champions League has to be, top 4 has to be a focus. A priority, as I've said. We can't miss out on Champions League. We cannot miss out on top 4. I don't want to be playing Europa League. I really don't want to be playing Europa League. Worst case scenario, Conference League. I'd rather finish 8th. Hopefully it doesn't get to that, but if it happens, that I think we're currently in 6th right now. I really hope we don't finish in a Conference League position. If we do, the quality of football is going to be so bad. Not from Liverpool, but from the rest of the teams. Like, it's just going to be so bad, the quality of football. It is, though, isn't it? It's going to be so bad. The quality of football is going to be awful in the Conference League. Hopefully it doesn't get to that. Genuinely, I'd rather finish 8th than play Conference League football. Stay clear of Conference League football. That's for like teams like Brentford, Bournemouth, Newcastle. They're in the Champions League. Maybe not Newcastle, but Brentford. Maybe even Bournemouth. I think Spurs nowadays, to be honest. But a team like Liverpool should not be finishing 7th. We should not be finishing 7th. We should not. We can't get Conference League football this season. If we do, it's going to be a dull old season. It's going to be a dreadful season if we have to play Conference League football. That's not even guaranteeing that we'll win it as well. So, yeah, I think this tonight has been a very good performance, but it's a performance against Qarabag, who are ultimately they're in the Azerbaijan Premier League, and it really does not prove anything that we've beaten this team 6-0. It just doesn't prove anything whatsoever. It really does not prove a thing, because this, it's a routine win, really. 6-0, yeah. I'm not surprised, to be honest. I'm actually surprised that we scored 6 goals, to be honest, because I just didn't think we'd score that many in this game. I thought it'd be maybe 3 or 4-0. But this just doesn't prove anything. We've got bigger games coming up. We've got Man City in a couple of weeks. We've got Sunderland in a couple of weeks. We've got, Forest, don't know. And then we've got West Ham. Arguably the easiest game of that run is West Ham. So the next 5 is Liverpool versus Newcastle. That's this Saturday. Then it's Liverpool, Man City. Then it's Sunderland versus Liverpool. We go to the Stadium of Light. Very tough ground to play at. Then it's the City ground. Forest versus Liverpool. And then Liverpool versus West Ham, who, we should beat West Ham, shouldn't we? But this just doesn't prove anything. This just doesn't prove how good we are, really. Had it have been maybe against a Barcelona, or maybe, I don't know, we beat Inter Milan, didn't we? Oh yeah, Inter Milan as well. We beat, so in the Champions League, I missed them off. Had it been against maybe a Barcelona, or maybe a Bayern Munich, I'd have maybe gone, okay, this could boost a good run of form, but it's against Qarabag. We're not back. We are not back on track because we have beaten Qarabag 6-0. We are nowhere near back on track because we have beaten Qarabag 6-0. We're not. We're just not. But, it's good that we're in the last 16, and I'm not complaining. I am not complaining in the slightest. But anyone saying we're back after a 6-0 win against Qarabag, who respectively are in the Azerbaijan Premier League, no, we're not back. We are not back by any means whatsoever. We are not back in the slightest. We're going to have to beat a bigger team than these lot, and a more tougher team than these lot, to be back. We're not back. We just lost 3-2 to Bournemouth after what we called a 13-game unbeaten run that had 4 draws in a row in it. A 13-game unbeaten run, yeah, but at what cost? We drew 4 games in that run. We drew to Fulham, we drew to Leeds, we drew to Arsenal. Yeah, it's an unbeaten run, but it's not the most glamorous unbeaten run, is it? We drew 4 games. We drew 4 games. We drew to Burnley, who were 19th. We drew to Burnley at Anfield. It's not the most competitive of games, this, is it? But, I am not complaining that we're in the last of 16. I did not expect it, to be honest. I just didn't expect it. But this just doesn't prove that we're back. This game doesn't prove that we're back. We're going to have to face a tougher team and have a better performance well, it was a good performance, but it was a comfortable performance, but we didn't face the toughest of opponents, did we? Let's be honest here, we did not face the toughest of opponents. But yeah, as I said, I'm not complaining that we're in the last 16 of the Champions League. I'm not complaining. It's a win. It's a 6-0 win. I'm happy that we're in the last 16. I'm not complaining. We finished third in the Champions League somehow. I don't know how that's happened, but we're just better in the Champions League this season than we are in the Premier League, clearly. But yeah, definitely need to have. I mean, this type of performance wouldn't win us the game against Man City or maybe even Sunderland. We're going to have to perform. We're going to have to, up it against Man City and Sunderland. A performance like that will not win us the games against Man City and Sunderland. That performance only wins games against, Rangers, Qarabag. Yeah, Qarabag. Yeah. That performance only wins games like this. We're not back. We just aren't back. We're just not back. And anyone saying we are back is being a bit reactionary. We're not back because of a 6-0 win over Qarabag. But hopefully it boosts the morale in the team, because as of late we've been pretty poor. We really have been. So hopefully this boosts the morale of the changing room, the dressing room, sorry. Hopefully it does boost the team, and hopefully it boosts us going into the last 16 of the Champions League. I don't know when the game is for the last. I don't know when the first game is. I think it's mid-Feb or March. I remember the PSG game last season being about March time. So I think it's March when we do play the last 16 of the Champions League. Yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts on this final game in the league stage of the Champions League. We do finish with a 6-0 win against Qarabag, and we are into the last 16 of the Champions League, which I am very happy about. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do, which means subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and I will see you lovely lot on the next one. Please take care of your beautiful selves, and as always, peace. Oh, no, one more thing. I nearly forgot it. Verts and Ekitike, too good. They're just too good, aren't they? That goal that Verts scored was pretty good. It was really good. It was really good. And then Ekitike scored his goal. He actually assisted Verts as well. They're two of the best players in our team. No one can doubt that. No one can doubt that in the slightest. Verts and Ekitike probably both going to finish on. I'm going to say Verts will finish on 10 goals and assists this season. And no, I'm going to say Verts finishes on 15 goals and assists this season, and Ekitike finishes on, say, 16 plus goals and assists this season. I'm going to say, should we go for 20 goals and assists for Ekitike this season? Why not? We're quite close to that. So, these two are the future of our football club. These two have been so good for us this season. It's Verts' first goal in the Champions League for Liverpool, and it's a pretty good goal. Yeah. These two are just phenomenal, aren't they? They just are. They're just so good. I love Verts and Ekitike. I love Verts. I'm not going to hide it. He's my favourite player. He is my favourite player. And Ekitike is a second favourite. I love Ekitike as well. I love Ekitike. I love them both. They're such a good duo. So deadly. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do, which means subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and I will see you lovely lot in the next one. Please take care of your beautiful selves, and as always, peace out.